Good evening, everybody. How are we all doing? Thank you to those of you that are here for this very impromptu live stream. I've not done one for a while, not since the debacle of the Revolver World Cup, where it all went horribly wrong. I thought I've got to get back on it soon. So here I am. I didn't want to plan it long in advance because I didn't want to big it up and it all go wrong again. I've made some changes to my setup that hopefully will make it a bit more reliable. I can't believe I've just said that because I've probably jinxed it already, but we'll see how it goes. And if it all goes down, crashing, no harm done. We're not in the middle of a World Cup or anything. So hello everybody, how are we all doing? Thank you for joining me. I hope you're all well. I hope you're all doing okay. There's been a fair bit going on in the chat already. Just so hello to everybody who's saying hello in the chat. So I just thought, there's quite a bit going on at the moment. There's all sorts of rumours flying around. Some of it's not rumour, some of it we kind of know at the moment. And I thought, let's just have a bit of a chat about what's happening at the moment. What is happening, what isn't happening. What can we say, what can't we say? We'll see how it goes. But if anybody's got any questions, comments on, I suppose the big topic's going to be Revolver, isn't it? I would imagine that's probably the biggest topic of conversation at the moment. Then let us know. Let us know what you've got, what you would like to discuss, because I've deliberately not planned a lot for this. I kind of want to go with the flow of where the conversation's going. So we will see how it goes. Hi Anthony, what's that you're saying there? It's just disappeared off my screen a second. Love you too, very minor word change. Each page just goes so fast, turn around, it's past. Yes, internet forums, aren't they? They do move really quickly. The whole thing's moved really quickly over the last couple of weeks, I think, in terms of Revolver anyway. We've still not had that official announcement yet, but it's coming. It's going to be coming soon. I presume most of you know kind of as much as I do really on this, but not everybody follows it intensely. So what do we know? What do we know so far? We know that Giles Martin has effectively let the cat out of the bag, which he did late last week, when somebody posted something on Twitter about the potential Revolver remix, and Giles Martin retweeted it with a message saying, "I hope you like it," or words to that effect. Which, if that's not confirmation, well, I don't know what is. And then there was all sorts of rumours about a tracklist. I'm going to go through, I want to talk about the rumoured tracklist, and it is just a rumoured tracklist at the moment, but it does look very interesting. But it did suggest that there might not be a Blu-ray with it this time, with your high-res 5.1, all that kind of thing. Not so sure on that. Now, again, Giles Martin has put a message out. He put a photograph out of him working on his software, and it effectively said that he's working on one of these Dolby Atmos spatial surround remixes, which I've not heard these Atmoses yet, so I'm interested to know if anybody has got the capability to play these Dolby Atmos remixes, and you've got an opinion on them. Let us know. I would be very interested to hear what your thoughts are on those. Hi Gregors, is it, from Poland? How's Poland doing? Thank you. Seal Decker, hi there, how are you doing? What do you think will be the date of the announcement? Well, all I can go is by what I think feels right. I've said for a while now that I think it'll be next week, maybe around the 8th or the 9th. That's just a gut feeling on my part. I know there's been a date of the 13th mentioned. I never believed that from the moment I saw it. I don't think it'll be that late. I think it will be here before then. But I would expect it next week, in about a week's time, I think, would be my guess on that one. Hi, Biff Tannen. Biff Tannen's in the room. Wow. Butthead. You're loving the Dylan... You're not a butthead, by the way. Loving the Dylan display. Yeah, I was in a Dylan mood today. I've got my Dylan t-shirt on as well. I was in a Dylan mood, and there is a reason for it. I've been kind of caught out. I've got something wrong today. I was expecting an announcement today that never came for the next Bob Dylan bootleg series. So I was all set up ready to do a video, and it's never happened. So that'll be interesting because I don't know when that's going to come. Maybe it was never due today, but there was a lot of rumours that it was going to be, and then that never happened. Is it going to be next week? But would you want to clash with the Beatles announcement? And I don't think I would. If I was somebody of that era putting out an announcement, I don't think I'd want to clash with the Beatles announcement. Hi Dean, how are you going? You saw George Martin's. You didn't see George Martin's tweet. Giles Martin's tweet about Revolver. Do you think we'll get a lot of outtakes like previous box sets? Yeah, like I say, I've actually got a list of the rumoured track list on my screen in front of me that I want to go through and just kind of have a bit of a chat about that. I'm just going to go down to the bottom of the chat again because I want to be answering questions that have just recently been asked. So if I missed yours out, I'm probably not ignoring you. Just ask it again and hopefully we'll get to it. Hi Victor, the 13th of September date is the US listening party date, you believe? Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I never believed that as an announcement date at all, which seems to have been getting quite a lot of publicity. What effect, hi Mike, what effect do we think Revolver is going to have on the archive series? Is it going to draw another blank for 2022? Well, it's crazy. Dry throat tonight. No beers tonight. I'm just on the orange squash tonight. Archive collection. It doesn't look like one's coming this year, does it? And which I can't understand. I'm sure there's some logic to it. There must be some logic to it, but I can't fathom what that logic is. It's very strange. We will soon, very soon, I'm not sure of the exact date, but at some point over the next few weeks, we will be at a point where there has only been one archive collection announced in the last 4 years. Because of course we had Flaming Pie in 2020, and then before that it was around sort of October, November time we had Red Rose Speedway and Wildlife. So once it gets sort of past the anniversary of those two being announced, we will have had one announcement in 4 years. I do not understand it at all. Anthony, hi there. We've now officially hit the longest gap between archives now, correct? I believe, yeah, I think, was it Paul at Super Deluxe Edition? I think he tweeted that, didn't he, yesterday, the fact that we've just hit that point. I don't know. There's got to be a reason. There might be, I hear a rumour that there might be something from Paul still to come this year, but perhaps not an archive collection. So I really don't know. I mean, the main thing that would please me, if it's not an archive collection, is a really, really interesting batch of vinyl reissues. You know, like Twin Freaks, Driving Rain, that kind of thing. Things that might not get an archive collection as such. Maybe a bit of Fireman or something like that. That would be good. Hi, Culip, is it? Other than the Beatles, what albums am I looking forward to this year? Well, I've just mentioned about. I thought they were going to announce the Bob Dylan bootleg series. That hasn't happened, but I'll be very interested to get hold of that. And the other one that's just been announced in the last few days is the new Arctic Monkeys album. So that's coming out on October 21st, which should be the week before we're expecting Revolver to come out, because that's likely to be the 28th of October. So I'm very interested. I will definitely be getting the new Arctic Monkeys album, CD and vinyl, and hopefully they'll be announcing a tour where I can get some tickets to go and see them. So on the last tour, I was up against the front barrier in Sheffield, in their hometown, which was a great gig. I would love to be up against the front barrier again, where we had to queue for... I went with my daughter and we had to queue for 3.5 hours, I think, before the gates opened to be able to get up against the barriers. But it was worth it. What have we got going on the chat? Hi Henry, do I think the Magical Mystery Tour will get a box set? I hope so. I mean, I did talk about this in a video a little while back, because of course there was this. It's nice having things to hand, isn't it? There was this from, was it 2012? So 10 years ago now, this. And I had a good look through this just 2 or 3 weeks ago, and the booklet that's with it is really good. It's hard to see how they would improve too much on the booklet, although I'm sure they could go into a lot more detail about recording sessions and whatever. But I really hope that as good as this is, I hope it's not the final word on Magical Mystery Tour. I hope that they do give it proper attention, because that period from the Pepper sessions finishing to the White Album, it's kind of, there's a bit of a hole there. So I think even if they did it as a Magical Mystery Tour and Yellow Submarine, because the sessions were they were mainly both in between those dates. Even if it covered both, I would hate to see it left out. I mean, one of my favourite stats about the Beatles, those sort of incredible timescales that they worked to, is the date that they finished working on Sgt. Pepper to the day that they started working on Magical Mystery Tour. You know, like nowadays that'd be 2 years or 3 years or something. It was 3 days. They had 3 days from finishing Sgt. Pepper to starting Magical Mystery Tour. It's ridiculous. Slava, let's do that rumoured Revolver track list. Shall we? Shall we do that? Okay. So, like I said, this is rumoured. Okay, nothing confirmed here at all yet. But it looks like they're probably going down the same route that they did with the Let It Be box set, which was the first time that they'd done the vinyl package and the CD package with matching track lists. And that seems to be the way that it's all going now. The All Things Must Pass box was the same, wasn't it? So I've just completely lost my train of thought there. Yeah, vinyl and CD matching. So when I say CD one, I also mean vinyl disc one. Rumoured, obviously disc one, the new 2020 stereo mix by Giles Martin and Sam O'Kell. So Sam O'Kell, we've talked about this before, how he said several months ago in a podcast that he was a guest on that they were working on mid-era Beatles or mid-period Beatles. So you kind of thought, oh, it's got to be Revolver or Rubber Soul, surely. And here we are. It is going to be. So, first disc, the 2020 stereo mix. This is going to be an interesting one. Very interesting one, because, Giles Martin in the not too distant past said he didn't think that the technology was there yet to do Revolver. So either something's moved very quickly with the technology, or they've found a way around it, or there's going to be some bits that might be a bit jarring. I can't imagine they've done that. I'm sure they must have got it to sound right, otherwise they wouldn't do it. Because he did say that he wouldn't do it just for the sake of doing it. It would have to sound right. So I think the issue is that now they've got to go into this territory of demixing, which the way that I like to think of demixing is, you've got a cake that's got eggs and flour, or you've got the basis of a cake. You've mixed your eggs and your flour together, or maybe a drum and a bass, for example. You've got them locked in together. You wouldn't normally be able to take the egg back out of the cake and actually get the egg and get the flour separated again. It's kind of this thing with demixing, of actually separating it out. We saw Peter Jackson do it loads with the Get Back movie, really successfully. So when Giles said that the technology wasn't there, does that mean that his technology that he uses isn't there? Has that improved? Or have they actually gone to Peter Jackson and said, this technology that you used for Get Back, maybe we could use it on Revolver? And I don't think we'll know. I imagine once the announcement's out, maybe in the books when they talk about how they've done it, I'm sure they will want to tell us what a technical achievement it is, and I'm sure we will find out. But at some point on this album, it looks like they've got to do demixing. So anyway, yeah, disc one. That's going to be the main stereo mix by Giles Martin and Sam O'Kell. No surprises there. I will come on to CD and vinyl 2 in a moment. I don't want to ignore your chat while we're at it, so I will come back to that. So let's have a look towards the on the chat. What's going on? Looks like there's some stuff about sales figures. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, fine. Discuss that one amongst yourselves. Dr. Winston O'Boogie, you would have loved a mono vinyl release of Revolver included. Well, again, this is another really interesting thing about this one. This is one of the discs that we're going to come to, it's rumoured, would be a mono transfer of the original mix. So if that's going to be on a CD, and again, like I say, it's just a rumour, does that mean they're going to match it on vinyl? Is there actually going to be a mono Revolver vinyl? We don't know the answer to that yet. That's something we're going to have to wait until release day to find out. Taps. Oops, I saw something by Taps Logic there, and then it just disappeared off my screen. Weird that Variety announced a confirmed Revolver Deluxe, but there's no official announcement. They didn't even cite their source. Yeah, it's. I mean, Variety didn't really say anything that wasn't already widely known, but they just decided to put a stamp on it that said, "This is official." There was nothing official at the time. It was all still rumours. They put the word official on it, and but did that then prompt Giles Martin to do his message where he said, "I hope you like it"? I don't know. Has it altered the timescales? I wouldn't have thought it would alter timescales, but I imagine when things like that happen, it's probably doesn't go down too well with Apple, potentially. A bit like yesterday, Fun and Games yesterday on Amazon in the US, where they suddenly put up a load of pre-order links for Revolver for all sorts of different configurations. There was 5 CD, 4 LP plus a 7-inch. There was all sorts. A few people got in on pre-orders and then they took it down. And I think somebody might have got into a bit of bother for putting that up live potentially. So don't bother going looking for them. They're not there now. The links have been taken down, but no doubt they will be back. Nikolai, Arctic Monkeys, do you think it'll be back to the basics as the first album or more like Tranquility? Well, the song that got released as a preview a couple of days ago sounds more like Tranquility bass era to me, but then they've said that their approach is more sort of get in a garage and thrash it out like it would have been 20 years ago. So I don't know, maybe it's going to be a bit of each. Be very interesting. Rodolfo, how do I think the box set will look like? What do I think it will look like? Well, the thing with these Beatles deluxe box sets is everyone's been different, hasn't it? They've been all sorts of different weird shapes and sizes. I think the Let It Be vinyl, well, all the vinyl box sets have been square. They've got to be, haven't they, really? The CD box sets for the White Album and Let It Be, they moved away from it. So I don't know. You'd think with Revolver, because it's a very definite album cover. Obviously, that image is square, so it would suit a square box. Otherwise, you've got to sort of make the image smaller to fit into a different shape. Whereas with Let It Be, it was, although there was an album cover, it was 4 images and you could manipulate those a bit as they did. And with the White Album, of course, plain. I just got a message there that suggested, did I just go offline? Am I back? Friggin' bloody thing going off. If it's gone offline, I will be really annoyed. But I think I'm online. Right, I'm back down towards the bottom of the chat. Mike, you're going out on a limb and saying the box will be black and white. Well, it'll certainly be black and white themed, won't it? I would imagine. There was a picture. I don't know whether anybody. I did go back off briefly, did I? Of course I did. Every flipping time. Wonderful. But only briefly. There was an image started doing the rounds a week ago. I'd never seen it before. I'd be interested to know whether any of you know if it was a new image or whether you've seen it before. And it was the Revolver cover. So have I got it handy? Have I got Revolver handy? I don't even know where it is. I think it's behind Bob. Hang on a second. There. So it was this picture here, but everything that's on here, so all these, the 4 drawings by Klaus, all these different photographs, everything that's dotted around on here, it sort of had arrows coming off it, and it showed the original photograph that everything is from, even what the drawings were based on. It was really interesting. I'd never seen that before, and I don't know whether, like I said, I don't know whether it's new or whether it's been around. So if anybody knows, could you let me know whether you've seen that before? Because that would be, I would like to know. Yeah, I froze and then I came back. Okay, shall we talk about disc 2, proposed, rumoured disc 2? Okay. So it's worth saying that there was 7 Revolver demos, sort of alternative takes or whatever on Anthology 2. And then there was a further 2 sort of on the CD singles. Was it a Yellow Submarine and a Here, There and Everywhere? On this proposed track listing, everything from there is on here. Hopefully it'll be better quality. Not that it wasn't bad quality, but it could be better. Maybe some of them will be different lengths. They might have more of an intro, more of an outro. So it might not be, we might get maybe more than what we got on those equivalents in Anthology. We'll have to see. I guess we maybe won't know that until it's out and we've had a chance to hear the thing. But anyway, CD, Vinyl 2, rumoured. Tomorrow Never Knows Take 1, which we've got that on Anthology 2. We know what that sounds like. Obviously very different. Then I'm very interested to hear... Oops, knock my drink over. Wonderful. I'm very interested to hear Tomorrow Never Knows Mono Mix, Reduction Mix 11, which apparently was kind of one of the proposed... It was going to be on Revolver, and then I think it got canned later on. I don't know if I've ever heard it. I might have done, but I don't know. But a lot of people were saying in advance, I really hope Reduction Mix 11 is on there. So I'd be interested to hear that. Did anybody answer that question about the Revolver picture? Many of the photos on Revolver are on Robert Freeman's photo book of private viewing, including the original cover that got rejected. Okay. Victor, you've seen it. There's also quite an old video showing the photos. Okay, so maybe it might be something that's been around. Maybe I'd just not seen it. We've then got a few versions of Got to Get You Into My Life. There's it says first version. It says second version, unnumbered mix, and then second version. So I guess one of those will be what's on Anthology, I would assume, which I thought was I quite like the Got to Get You Into My Life. This sort of very laid back take of that. I mean, ultimately what ended up on Revolver is one of my absolute favourite Beatles songs. It would be pushing for top 10, top 20, definitely, top Beatles songs. We've got a couple of mics here. Mike Knowles, Reduction Mix 11 is only slightly different. More piano at the end, different Seagull loops. Okay, well, that'd be interesting to hear. Thank you. Mike, pre-code, hi there. Well, we've just been discussing September 13th. That is rumoured. I don't believe it. I think it'll be sooner than that, but it's just my guess. So we've got Love You Too, Take 1. Now that's the one that was always that was referred to at the time as Granny Smith. That was its working title, which supposedly is a George acoustic demo with Paul on backing vocals. Very interested to hear that. I don't know whether that's ever been bootlegged, but I don't know. But I'm certain I've never heard it. What else have we got? So there's an unnumbered rehearsal of Love You 2 and take 7 of Love You 2. So we'll see what those are like. And then I'm really interested in these. Paperback Writer takes 1 and 2 backing tracks. So that'd be great to sort of hear. We'll be able to hear a bit of the evolution of Paperback Writer. So that would be good. And then Rain take 5 and then Rain take 5 slowed down. Because it was just actually earlier today I was listening to an audio file of Rain at the proper speed rather than slowed down as it is on the record, and it's got a lot more energy to it. So I guess when we hear take 5, it'll be at that proper speed, and then they've slowed it down on another track. Dr. Robert takes 7. I don't think I've ever heard another version of Dr. Robert before, so that'll be good. And then we've got And Your Bird Can Sing, first version take 2, and then first version take 2 giggling. So the giggling one, probably just about the best thing on the whole anthology albums, I think. 1, 2 or 3. So we've got that take without the giggling, presumably without the singing as well. Is it an instrumental only? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see on that one. So that all looks really interesting. That is the rumoured, I'll keep saying the word rumoured, disc, vinyl and CD disc 2. Okay, back to the chat. Beetle Boy 4-track EP to be included. Paperback writer and Rain mono and stereo. Yes, I've heard that rumour. In fact, we'll see that when we get further down this track list in a bit. So that would be, yeah. I mean, the EP got a lot of stick in the Let It Be box, didn't it? And it's interesting that they decided to go down that route again. We'll see. I did see before it just disappeared off my screen, somebody asking if I was going to go and see Bob Dylan. Mark, there's a lot of Marks in tonight, isn't it? Mark Castley. Am I going to any of the Bob Dylan concerts in the UK? They went on sale, the morning that they went on sale at 10 a.m, I was there online looking, not to definitely buy, but to really get an idea of price for Hull, because I can be there in not much more than half an hour. And it said sold out immediately, which I don't believe for 1 second that it was sold out. I'm sure they'd all been snapped up by all the bots to go on sale at a ridiculous price, but I don't play that game. So no, I'm not going. I'm not going. Are you going, Mark? Are you? Which gig are you going to if you are? Jella, extended cuts with upscaling of the video clips. Would love that. Yeah, that'll be good. They've never seemed to have, apart from in the Sergeant Pepper box where there was like the making of documentaries and the videos, they've not really done much on the visual side, have they? Not a great deal anyway. I'm just going to go down towards the bottom of the chat again. Oh, guitars instead of trumpets. Yes, that was that Got to Get You Into My Life? So somebody just mentioned there. That'll be interesting. Again, it's a little bit like when they were Sergeant Pepper, when they were doing the hum instead of the big piano chord, wasn't it? And you realise they did absolutely the right thing in ditching that and going with the piano chord instead. Block Frog, you think you found the Revolver picture I was talking about? What, is that the one where it sort of shows the original photos of everything? Crazy for Beatles, you wish you could quit the resale market. Your small victory is to wait to the last minute, so you usually get a good price. Yeah, I'm just not interested in playing the game. It's silly. I think if people play that game, then that encourages it, and I'd rather not go, to be honest, than pay. What is it? What's that company? There's one that Ticketmaster uses. I can't remember the name of it now, but I'm just not going to do it. Oh, Mark, so you're going to the first show of the European tour. Okay, excellent. Whoops, it's gone off my screen. November in Dublin. Brilliant. Hashem, Revolver has been released on the 9th. It's on a Guardian article. Released? 9th of what? What month do you mean? I don't think it's going to be released on the 9th. It might get announced on the 9th, but I don't think it's going to be released on the 9th. Via GoGo, that's it. Yeah, I'm not doing it. Not doing it. Tickets available in Amsterdam. Oh, yeah, let's go to Amsterdam for that. Yeah. My daughter's going to Denmark for a gig in November, and then she's just realised how expensive it is going to Denmark. And I'm not bailing her out. I'm not paying for it. Pete, hi, what's the latest on Sometime in New York City? How shall I say this? If you are looking forward to Sometime in New York City, as I have been, focus your mind on Revolver instead and enjoy that, is what I would say. Martin, Dr. Winston being ignored. He's on. I don't know what you mean there. I'm not ignoring. There's nobody here I am ignoring. I can promise you that. Oh, it's just come up again. Dr. Winston. Do I watch Rachel's Ghost channel? I've seen some. Isn't it? Is that the one that replaces? Did she have a channel that got taken down and then she brought a new channel up to replace? I'm aware. I'm aware of the channel. If that's the one that you mean. It's not something that I regularly watch. Paul, you're not a fan of... I am a fan of Sometime in New York City. I find it a very enjoyable album, as I've said often over the years. I know it's very political and it gets a bit heavy, but I just enjoy it. If I put that on, I'm going to enjoy it. More Dylan shows announced for Manchester, Oxford and Bournemouth. Well, I could go to Manchester, I guess. We just did the Revolver World Cup tour. Has there been some World Cup chat, has there? Where am I? Hashem, can I please do an Abbey Road World Cup? Have I not done an Abbey Road World Cup? I honestly can't remember. Maybe I haven't. I know I've done World Cups that have involved Abbey Road as a, like, up against other albums, but have I not done an Abbey Road World Cup? Well, it will definitely happen eventually. I don't think there's much doubt about that. Ringo is in the Hall of Fame. Wings not. Thoughts? That doesn't seem right, does it? Doesn't seem right. Oh, I'm on a big Ringo trip at the moment. So I know some of you know that I put a message out where... So I've been doing this Beatles and solo ultimate album ranking thing. And, you know, I've done Paul, I've done John, I've done George. I filmed the Ringo episode. I filmed it 2 or 3 weeks ago. In fact, I think it was the same day I filmed the George episode. And then I thought, I'm not happy with this because I was missing loads of albums out that I didn't know. And I thought, I'm not keen on this. So I put a message out, which some of you will have seen, saying, what should I do? Should I just go with the albums I know? Or should I wait until I know them all? And like 75% of you voted, wait until you know them all. So, thanks for that, everybody. Gee, thanks. I'm now 14 Ringo albums in. Did another couple last night, taking extensive notes so that I can compare them against others and rank them properly and do a proper chat about every album. So I'm doing it. I'm on with it. I've not got too many more to listen to. I think I've only got 3 or 4 that I haven't done yet. So it's getting there. Lima, there are only 3 listenable Ringo albums. Well, I'm finding more than that at the moment. They're not all great. Some of them are hard work. There's actually some of them that I've criticised for the same thing, same reason over and over again on different albums. And then last night, an album very deliberately didn't do this thing. And it was lacking. And I thought, oh, I wish it had done that thing that I've been slagging the other albums off for. I'm not going to reveal any more on that. I'm not going to spoil it anymore. Izzy, your mum had a copy of Ringo's Sentimental Journey, so you'll look forward to the Ringo YouTube. I don't mind Sentimental Journey. It's certainly not going to be down towards the bottom of the ranking, shall we say. That'd be too much Ringo for me, said somebody who's just disappeared off my screen. Paula, hiya Paula. Yes, I just remembered I've got that, haven't I? I keep forgetting about that little feature that I can do there. Yeah, well, it is a lot of Ringo, but I've always said eventually I'm going to get to know all Ringo albums. So I thought, well, it's the perfect opportunity, isn't it? Absolutely perfect opportunity. Mark, will I be buying the upcoming Dylan bootleg series, which is rumoured to be the Time Out of Mind sessions? Yeah, I'm guessing you weren't around earlier. I was talking about that. The reason I've got these Dylan albums up here is that I thought it was going to get announced today. I was waiting for the announcement and I was going to do a video and it never happened. So yeah, I definitely want to be getting that. I did play Time Out of Mind again this morning, just as a little reminder on that. There's some good stuff on there. It's definitely like the start of this. I think everything that he's done since Time Out of Mind has had a very similar kind of feel to it. And that was definitely the start of it. Danny says, all the Ringo albums I've listened to are more than enjoyable. Bo Cooks of Blues, Ringo, Goodnight Vienna, and I always think it's Rotogravure. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but that's how I pronounce it anyway. Yeah, there's one there of those 4 that I wasn't very much a fan of. See if you can guess which. Yes, Paul, no Ringo hate here. Thank you very much. Mark says, hopefully the next Dylan bootleg might be announced tomorrow. Where did I get that t-shirt? Where did I get this t-shirt? I think I got it off his website. I think. the the messages that I've been getting, and if there's anybody here who's in America, you might be able to say what your opinion is on this particularly. But I understand it's holiday weekend in America this weekend. And I saw a lot of people today saying, no, they're not going to announce it at the start of a holiday weekend. Wouldn't make sense. I don't know if there's anybody from America here, would you agree with that statement that you wouldn't announce a new album just before this weekend that's coming up? I don't know. Was I with John Heaton? No, he's been in Liverpool, hasn't he, this weekend? I don't know yet if he's done a video on it because I've not had a chance to be on YouTube much this weekend. But I know he was there with James Griffiths. So had a couple of messages from James about that. Said he had a very good weekend in Liverpool with John. Connor, you must be in America. You agree you would not announce it at the moment. Well, that's fair enough. Which again leads me to wonder, is it a while off yet? Is it a long way off? Or is it weirdly going to be next week, probably clashing with the Revolver announcement, which to me doesn't make sense? Hi Tyrone. Yes, he's done a video. Right, I'll have a look out for that. I'll have a watch of that. I've just been so busy this week. I don't seem to get a chance to relax till about 10 o'clock at night. Tobias Winters, I think I know who you are. I was at the Adelphi last week and grown men were in tears when they heard you weren't attending. I doubt that very much. I really doubt that. Tears of joy, perhaps. Anthony, can't believe we haven't had any Beer Here Now concert footage. I.e. Earl's Court or G-Mex, despite them being in the promotion videos. Yeah, I haven't bought the new vinyl. I don't know whether they'll release a concert video. They've not really. They celebrated the 25th anniversary of the album release, didn't they? But they didn't really sort of give us much that we didn't already have, if anything. Mark says, will I buy the new book Bob Dylan has written called The Philosophy of Modern Song? I may well do. I remember hearing about it a while ago. It's been announced for quite a while, hasn't it? And isn't it him talking about songwriting or something like that? So yeah, I might wait until the reviews come out to see whether it's something that I want to get or not. Maybe it might be one for the Christmas list, possibly. Apart from That'll Be the Day, Ringo's films are awful. I still haven't seen That'll Be the Day. Is it that, and is it Stardust? Is it the other one? I could be wrong. There's two films, aren't there? And I haven't seen either of them, and they're not easy to get hold of, but I would really like to see them. I did watch The Magic Christian about 3-4 months ago. What an absolutely crazy film that is. Absolutely ridiculous, but weirdly enjoyable as well. And it was weird watching it, thinking, how much that film influenced the Let It Be or Get Back sessions, with them having to be finished by a certain date, and the fact that they had Twickenham because it had been booked ready for Magic Christian, and it was such a massive influence on that month for just an utterly crap film. Yeah, I'd like to see That'll Be the Day, but it's not on. It's one of these. It's not on Netflix. It's not on Amazon. I don't even know if you can easily get a DVD of it. It's never on telly. Ringo's not in Stardust, no, but isn't it? Am I right in thinking? Is it kind of? Is it? Are they kind of two films connected? I could be wrong there. Yeah, Caveman influenced Avatar. I doubt that, but I haven't seen Caveman either yet. And I haven't seen Candy either. I've got a few, apart from the Beatles films, the only one I've seen of Ringo's is Magic Christian. Yeah. Good evening, Paul. Thank you for joining. Goodbye. Right. Okay. We haven't yet done CD or vinyl 3. So let's have a little bit of a talk about this. Again, like I say, rumoured track listing. This is not definite, but this is it did come from what you would regard as a reliable source. Some of you may know Andre Gardner, who did the Beatles Minute podcast. He was radio DJ. This came from him, so he seems like a very credible source. So CD3 Sessions it's titled, and hopefully vinyl 3 as well. And Your Bird Can Sing, another version of that, but it's second version. So that would be the version as it became released on the album, but it's take 5 of that version. Taxman Take 11. Now, whether that's the version that was on Anthology, I suspect it might be. You know, the anybody got a bit of money? Anybody got a bit of money? Anybody got a bit of money? Version. I guess it might be that. We've then got I'm Only Sleeping rehearsal fragment, followed by take 2, followed by take 5. So again, that'll be interesting to see how that evolves. I would guess from the fact that it says rehearsal fragment, it's probably not going to be a very long version of it. You know, it might be one of these where it's about 12 seconds. It's a fragment. We'll see. Thank you, Hashem. Thank you very much for joining. Bye-bye. Thank you. Eleanor Rigby. This looks interesting. Eleanor Rigby, speech before take 2. How much speech? We don't know. But that could be interesting. And then Eleanor Rigby take 2. So that would be very interesting to hear what's the backing for that. Is it, presume that's before there was the full orchestra? Is it Paul's take 2 without any orchestra? Don't know. Martin says, sing Itchy Bum. You love that song. Itchy Bum, Itchy Bum, Itchy ba 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 ba. Great song. I love that song. Back in Brazil. For No One, take 10, backing track. So that'll be good. Have we heard sessions of For No One before? I can't remember doing. And then we've got a few 4 Yellow Submarine tracks, songwriting work tape part 1. And then it says the same thing again. So maybe that might be a typo. I don't know. Then Yellow Submarine take 4 before sound effects, and then Yellow Submarine highlighted sound effects. So that could be fun. Then I want to tell you, has been stuck in my brain all day. I cannot get that song out of my head today. Speech and take 4. Again, I've never heard an alternate version of I Want to Tell You. So that'll be interesting. Here, There and Everywhere, take 6. Well, that's going to be good. Whatever that's like, that's going to be good. Maybe Strings Only for Eleanor Rigby, possibly. It doesn't. I've not seen anything that says strings only, but you know, maybe again this is just rumoured, so it might be there. She said John's demo. Now I think that's floating around on YouTube anyway. But I saw somebody done some good detective work a couple of days ago. They'd noticed that the video of that's been on YouTube, I think copyright has all of a sudden been claimed by the Lennon estate. So clearly they don't want that out there. They want the official versions out there. Followed by She Said, take 1, backing track. So that could be interesting as well. One little mystery that I really hope gets cleared up in all of this, maybe in the book. Will we find out for definite whether or not Paul is on the song? We know that Paul stormed out of the session. He doesn't sing on it. It's John and George singing. And it's always been suggested that Paul just doesn't appear on the song at all. But then I've seen people sort of discussing the technicalities of how the song was recorded, suggesting that, well, actually, there's a good chance it could still be him on bass and that he'd recorded his bass before he stormed out. And I don't think we know for definite, but I'm hoping that they cover that in the book, whether or not Paul McCartney appears on She Said. So that's your potential rumoured CD and vinyl 3 there. Let's get back to the chat, see what's happening. Just one moment. I'll do a little bit of... Okay, yeah, good. Thank you. Sorry, just talking amongst yourselves. I'm just doing stuff. Frank E. Potts. Taxman and Eleanor Rigby need remixed. I think I wouldn't argue with that. I think I don't think it needs remixing as much as Rubber Soul needs a good stereo mix, but there is definitely room for improvement. Now, I listened to the Yellow Submarine song track. I've listened to it twice again over the past few months, and some of the stuff some of the Revolver stuff as well, like Eleanor Rigby that's on there. It just kind of pops out at you, and you think that sounds fantastic. So yeah, that would be very interesting to hear what they can do with a good remix of this. Spam says that'll be the days on £2.49 to rent on Amazon. Thank you. Have you just gone and looked that up for me? Thank you. Have you just let me know that? I can't really get out of it much longer then, can I? If it's £2.49. Well, I'll have to do that at some point when I've got a bit of time then. Hi Nigel, Magic Christian is brilliant. Oh, your comments gone. Your comments disappeared. Where's it gone? Candy, much less so. That'll be the days a bit dated, but Ringo is excellent in it. Nige, also from Leeds. I'm not in Leeds anymore, Nige. I did live in Leeds for a long time, but I've moved away now. So yeah, Magic Christian, weird film. That'll be the day is a bit dated, but Ringo is excellent in it. You could also describe a lot of his albums in that way, couldn't you? A bit dated, but Ringo's brilliant in it. Bob Dylan in Manchester, 2nd of November. Oh, Sheffield and beyond. Hi there, how are you doing? No bootleg news. No, indeed. Is in Manchester 2nd of November. I think that's the night before I go and see Dave Gorman. I don't do 2 nights out in a row at my age. Oh, I'm too old for that malarkey. I might have to give that a miss. Breathless 345 on the relationship of John and Paul is masterful. Yeah, wasn't that I don't know if there's anything come out from that channel lately, but wasn't it sort of a year or so ago? They just like brought out a few brilliant videos and then that was it. I would like to see more from that channel. I'm not sure whether they're doing any more. It's not popped up on my suggested videos anyway, if they are doing. Here's a good question. Victor, do you think Revolver Box could have an impact on a possible celebration of the 60th anniversary of Love Me Do? It's right in the middle of that time frame, isn't it? So I hope it doesn't. They're obviously going to be publicising Revolver a lot during that period, but I hope they take some time early October to celebrate Love Me Do. I really hope they do. I've got some plans for it, video-wise, which I hope to research and enact soon. We'll see. Hey, Beetle Dustino, lunch break is over. It was fun checking in. You must be well west of us if it's lunchtime where you are. Thank you for joining. When people say the Liverpool music scene, they mean the greatest band ever came from Liverpool, nothing else. Well, I wouldn't say nothing else came from Liverpool. I think we had this discussion on a live chat a while ago about Liverpool versus Manchester. And I was saying if you take the Beatles out of the equation, then Manchester has done far more than Liverpool has. But then, of course, with the Beatles, it just completely wipes that out. Yeah, there's still been some good stuff come from Liverpool, but it does all kind of get overshadowed a little bit. What was that question I saw there? About have I got the Works by Queen? Yeah, I've got it on CD. I haven't got it on vinyl, but it's got some classics on, hasn't it? Radio Gaga's on there. I Want to Break Free, Hammer to Fall. Is This the World We Created? Is that on there as well? I think it's got some great songs on there. Ooh, what's happened here? ATN. That's very kind of you. Thank you very much. To watch That'll Be the Day. Ian, that's very kind of you. Thank you. You'll need some change because I've found out it's only £2.49. But that's very generous. Thank you very much for that. Much appreciated. I promise I will watch That'll Be the Day. I promise you. and I'll report back on it on a live stream soon. It might not be the next live stream, because as soon as they announce Revolver, I'll do a video. But then that night, I've sort of kept my diary clear for when I think it will be next week. So I'll do a live stream, whenever Revolver gets announced, I'll do a live stream that night where we can kind of take it all in, because we'll know so much more by then, and we might all have questions. I might have questions, you might have questions, and we can just make sure we sort of, what do we think about what's been announced, and what questions have we got about what's been announced. Nige says, have I seen How I Won the War? You love that too. Yeah, I mean, I saw it all the way through once about 25 years ago. And then it was on TV again a couple of months ago, and I recorded it and I started watching it, and I only got about a quarter of the way through, and I thought, oh, this is hard work. I've still got it recorded, so I might go back and finish it at some point. The throat's getting dry. What will be the first single of the Revolver mix? Well, that's a good question. We don't know the answer, but we can ponder what would be the first single. So I think what we're saying here then is, which will be the first new remix they release to help promote the set, is my understanding of the question you've just asked. I mean, the obvious one is Tomorrow Never Knows, but might they want to keep that one back? Because that's like going to be the ultimate one. I wouldn't be surprised if it's something like Taxman, maybe, because that could be fun. Maybe, I don't think it'd be Yellow Submarine, just because there's a section of the public that are always going to react badly to Yellow Submarine. So I don't think they'd choose that, even though it could be really interesting because of all the sound effects. So I don't know. If I had to guess, I mean, it could even be And Your Bird Can Sing. There's so many it could be with Revolver. For other Beatles albums which got a remix treatment, the original mixes went out of print on vinyl, or at least in Germany. Yeah, I mean, this is a concern a lot of people have, isn't it? That they don't want the original mixes to get forgotten about. And these new remixes are obviously very much flavour of the month. I don't think the original mixes will be lost in future history. But it certainly feels like, certainly at the moment, while this campaign's going on for probably the next few years, the remixes are what they're going to push, which is one of the reasons why I really, really can't see that they're going to reprint the Beatles in mono vinyl box set. It just seems to fly in the face of what they're doing at the moment. I'm not saying it'd be a bad idea. I'm just saying it just doesn't seem to fit with the idea of push the new remixes on his, like, the really old stuff right in the middle of that. It doesn't make sense to me. So, whoa, what's this again? Oh, Westfield, thank you very much. That's very kind of you, thank you. I can watch That'll Be the Day twice now. With the Beatles now reaching a part of history, do you think it's time for Apple to release all tapes to some foundation to preserve or release online? Is it going to let me highlight your comment on here? Can't even see it. Here we go. Let's put that up there. I'm sure that'll happen eventually. Again, they're probably not going to do it at the moment while they're doing this campaign, because even if they put, for example, all the stuff for Sgt. Pepper White Album, for example, out there now, when they then release the future sets that are still to come, like Rubber Soul, etc., might it sort of suggest to people, well, that box set, it's supposed to be super deluxe, it's supposed to be like the final word, but they're now releasing a load of other stuff. What's going on? So I don't know whether now would be the time to do it. Maybe once this campaign's finished. And it's also the reason why I think McCartney's got to be careful next year. There's a whole other video that I want to do on this about the Band on the Run 50th anniversary next year, where in theory there's all sorts of stuff that could come out for it, but then does that impact on the ongoing archive collection, if indeed the archive collection is ongoing, where it says to people, well, actually, the archive collection isn't the final word because we can just put a load of stuff out later. And might it put people off the archive collections? I don't know. But I suspect it will all come out eventually. One day might be one of these subscription things online. You know, you pay your monthly subscription and you can listen to it all as much as you want. I think, has Neil Young done something like that? You wouldn't be surprised if Dylan did something like that. It'll happen eventually. But maybe not yet. I don't know. Good question, though. What else have we got on here? Mike, you're not buying another copy. A Band on the Bloody Run. Well, you might have to opt out next year then. I'm sure they will at least be doing this half-speed remastering campaign still then. I'm sure it's going to come, isn't it? It's going to come. There's going to be something for Band on the Run. I just think they've got to be careful how they do it, so that they don't annoy people who've bought what they believe to be the final word on the subject. Okay, what else have we got? I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Before I'm going to do what I was about to going to do, I'm just going to answer this. From David, what about Japan Live Complete 1966? So certainly doesn't look like any of that's going to be included in the Revolver box set, if the rumours are true. I just hope if they do it, that it's better than that load of absolute rubbish that got released last year on Beatles Live in Japan 66. I sent it back. And demanded a refund. It was so awful. The DVD especially, it was just terrible. It was falsely advertised. It was clips that were ripped from a German VHS of Anthology with German subtitles at the bottom. It advertised it as having a particular interview before the gig. It was 20 seconds of the interview. It was just absolutely shocking. So if they're going to do it properly, not that worthless piece of rubbish that came out last year. So anyway, I said that I was going to go to the next disc and talk through the rumoured disc. CD4. Now this is where there's been other things come along that maybe suggest a bit different to this. So I really don't know about this one. Disc 4, 2022 mono transfer of the original tape. So this is where I'm saying that, you know, if that's true, and if the CD is going to match the vinyl, does that mean that they're going to give us a mono vinyl of Revolver? Which would be a little bit mind-blowing if they did. I also think, well, it won't be the same as what's in the Beatles in mono box set that you may or may not be able to see there. I'm not quite sure how far the camera comes down. But, yeah, you can just see the top of it there. They did it in Sgt. Pepper. It was what's called a flat transfer, I think they called it. And it's very flat. You know, it's got no EQ applied. It's not my favourite mono version of it. It just sort of sounds, it's a little bit kind of black and white. It's had like all the colour turned down on it. So whether it's that, I don't think it's going to be exactly the same as the version that's in that box set there. But we'll see. And I think it's up for debate. If there's anything on this rumoured track list that I'm not fully convinced by yet, it's this. We'll see. So we'll see whether that is CD4 and whether that is replicated as vinyl 4. You would imagine there'd be a lot of people very, very happy if that came out on vinyl. Interesting. We'll see. Hi, Andrew Galvin. How are you doing? With my Ringo retrospective, how do his dreadful recent EPs compare to his earlier work? Well, I think we can guess how you think they compare. They are... Well, we've still got the third EP to come, and I think it's been pushed back a few weeks, hasn't it? So unfortunately, probably by the time when I do this Ringo video, I don't think EP3 will be out by then. So I don't think that's going to get included. I certainly prefer the first of the two EPs. Let's put it this way. They're not at the bottom of the ranking at the moment. They're not at the bottom. One of them's not doing too badly. But neither are they near the top. Mid-table mediocrity. Yeah, I think is the phrase potentially for those. Hey, Moz Art, if they'd release the Rooftop concert on CD or iTunes, that would be a great live album. I don't stream though. Well, it's there on streaming, as I'm sure you know, or what you've somebody has already said. Oh, sorry, Dean, thank you. Thank you very much, Dean. That's very kind of you. The Beatles will always have archives to unveil. They always will. And yeah, I'm sure they will continue to monetize those archives in whatever way. We'll see. But thank you very much, Dean. It's very kind of you. Back to Moz Art. If they'd release the Rooftop concert on CD or iTunes, that would be great. Yeah, now that Revolver's happening, it makes you wonder how much of a priority any of that stuff is. Same with this flipping getting the Let It Be film out, because they did promise us. Let's not let them forget this. When they announced Get Back, they said that Let It Be would be made available. They didn't say in what format, but they said it would be made available. And they haven't done that. And I just hope that by going to Revolver, that they're not deflecting attention and then forgetting about that. And there is the potential that that could happen with the Rooftop concert as well. Whether it'll one day appear as a record store day release, I don't know. If there is still the plan, well, I say still the plan, we don't know that there ever was a plan, but if Peter Jackson gets his way and there's like an expanded version of the Get Back movie, once Disney's exclusivity ends, is there going to be another package coming that's got like more bonus footage that might have the Rooftop concert? It might have a version of the Rooftop concert visually where it doesn't cut away to the crowd. As much as I love that, and I think Peter Jackson made the right decision with what he did there, he's a storyteller and he told a fantastic story there. But I know and I understand why people want access to a version that doesn't cut away to the street. And little old ladies saying, it just doesn't make any sense. So I just hope that they're not forgetting about that now that they're moving on to Revolver. Excuse me. Penny Lane. Hi, Penny Lane. Have I seen Mark Lewison's 8 YouTube videos? Facts about the Beatles in '62 as a taster for his tour in London. Yes, I have. I'm going to see him in London. So I'm very much looking forward to that. I've seen him twice already. Had my photo with him, got him to sign both of my... Oh, you can't see my tuning books, they're behind me. Shall I get my tuning books out with Mark Lewison autographs in? Should we do that? Because they're just here behind me. 1 second. Talk amongst yourselves. Beatles tuning. All my albums have just fallen over that this book was holding up. So, I went to, first time I saw Mark Lewison was in Pontefract, West Yorkshire, about four-ish years ago. And I took this box set with me and I got my photograph taken with him. And so he did a signing. And we've got there, hopefully you can see that, to Andrew. All the best, Mark Lewison. Because I thought, I'm not going to get him to sign both books. It's just cheeky. And he said to me, you got the other book there? I said, yeah. He said, well, let me sign that one as well. And I didn't like to ask. So I said to him, so the story behind this is, this signature here. I said to him something along the lines of, like, thank you for everything you're doing. You know, somebody's got to do this and I'm glad it's you doing it. Something like that. And he said to Andrew, it needed doing, right? So he signed that one for me as well. So I was very pleased to get that. I'm now deciding whether to hawk my recording, no, my Beatles Chronicles book all the way down to London with me to get him to sign that. We will see whether I can be bothered to take that down to London with me. So anyway, I think I've missed a bit of chat here. I missed a bit of chat. Izzy, you're hoping to go and see Mark Lewison, but you might need to throw sickie as you're meant to be working. I won't tell anybody, Izzy. I promise I won't. I don't have contact for your boss, so I can't tell them anything. So he's doing 3 shows over 2 days, isn't he? You're working both days. So CD 5, vinyl 5 of the Revolver box set, the rumoured track listing. This is the controversial one. This is the one that is going to upset some people, and other people will probably really love it. Bonus EP. So they did the EP in the Let It Be box set. Some people really didn't like it. But according to the rumour, bonus EP would be presumably 2 songs on either side. Now, this is where there's a difference between this rumoured track list and what Amazon US put up when they mistakenly went live with the links yesterday. Amazon said that it was going to be a 7-inch bonus disc, which I guess you could get. Maybe it could be 7-inch potentially with 2 songs on each side. Wouldn't be ideal, and that's not what they did with the Let It Be. But side 1, Paperback, Writer and Rain 2022 stereo remix, which I imagine will be probably similar to the 1+ remixes from a few years ago. And then the other side, Paperback, Writer and Rain in mono. So will that be the same mono mix as the original single? I don't know. Will it be remastered? I don't know. I guess that's the kind of thing that we'll probably find out when the official announcement comes. We will see. Lila, you prefer Rubber Soul over Revolver. Lila, you were on... I was lurking in Joe Mayo's live stream a couple of hours ago. I think you were there, weren't you? You prefer Rubber Soul over Revolver. Okay, so you'll be looking forward to presumably next year. You've got to assume it's going to be next year for Rubber Soul. And I think that's the one that really does need a good stereo remix. Again, I go back to the Yellow Submarine song track, and the songs that were on there that were remixed in 1999 that are from Rubber Soul sound great. So we've got the 2 main stereo versions at the moment, haven't we, of the album? We've got the 1965, you know, half the band are over there and half the band are sort of over in Swansea, like massive gap in the middle with nothing. And then you've got George Martin's 1987 remix that he did when it came out on CD, and it's just a kind of a... I mean, that's the version of the album that I grew up on and grew to love, but you listen to it now and you think, God, there's a lot of reverb on there. And that's the one that they then reproduced that or remastered that in 2009 for the Beatles remastered set, which was quite funny, wasn't it? They decided to use the 1987 George Martin remix because they didn't want to offend him by ignoring it. And then George Martin said, I don't remember remixing it in 1987. So they needn't have bothered. So I wonder if it had been... I wonder if they considered doing a remix then for it. I wonder if that was a thought. Sheffield and Beyond. Yes, that happened. He is here. I know he's here under a different name at the moment. But yes, I called him out on something and he did apologise, and I accepted the apology because it was very graciously given. Andrew, have you ever been inside Abbey Road Studios, says James. You went in 2014 to see a lecture with Ken Scott in attendance. Good fun was had by all. I bet it was. No, I haven't been inside Abbey Road Studios. I was last outside Abbey Road Studios about 2 months ago. when I found, some of you might have seen, I did a video there. I happened to be passing through London. I was in Slough, which, you know, yeah, I actually went to Slough, and I had to come home via London, and I found myself with about 4 hours before my train out of London. So I thought, I'm off to Abbey Road. So I got on the tube, went over to Abbey Road, I recreated the walk from Paul's Cavendish Avenue house, the walk that he would take from there. For example, when recording Sergeant Pepper every day, he would walk to Abbey Road Studios. It was a 4.5 minute walk it took me. So I recreated that, which was great to do. A bit sad, but you know, that's what I do. So I really enjoyed that. I hadn't been to Abbey Road for about 30 years before that, but no, I've not been inside. I would love to go. A friend of mine, Dom, went more recently than you. They let him on the piano that they did the Crash at the end of A Day in the Life on, and they got a few of them, and they went told them what to play, and they recreated the piano Crash from A Day in the Life. So that would have been really fun. I did, Peter. I actually went to Slough. That was there was a Beatles connection, wasn't there, to Slough? Wasn't that the when they did the Royal Variety performance? And didn't one of them say to the Queen Mother that they'd just been playing in Slough, and the Queen Mother went, "Oh, that's just near us," meaning Windsor. Is that the main Beatles connection to Slough? I think it probably is. Slough for me was quite exciting. I was trying to find the office. I was trying to find the office where the office was from the opening credits, but I couldn't see it. I don't even know if it's there anymore. It looks like the sort of building that might have been pulled down by now. Yes, really, like Mimi, you fell asleep. I'm surprised anybody's still awake for this, but you've not missed much, really. You've not missed much. Dean, you were in Liverpool earlier this month. You went to see the Eleanor Rigby grave and the church hall when John met Paul. It was powerful to stand in the spot where history was defined. The reason I'm smiling is stupid idiot me went to Eleanor Rigby's grave last year. Found it, did some filming. Found Bob Paisley's grave in the same graveyard, legendary Liverpool manager. But I didn't go to the church hall. I never even went across the road to the church hall. It just completely slipped my mind, and I've never been. So I'm going to have to go back and do that at some point. I think it was, they had it open at the weekend, I think, for some events. I think James Griffiths, YouTuber, I think he said to me that he'd been there. So maybe John Heaton might have been there as well. I don't know whether did he show it in his video, perhaps. Stereo Fidelic. Will Giles keep the ADT on the vocals? I would imagine so. Artificial double tracking. I would assume so. He's not. Although thinking about it, it's not double tracking as in singing singing it again. If it was traditional double tracking, then you definitely keep both. Artificial. That's an interesting question. Will they keep that, or will they just go to the original recording and maybe duplicate it? I don't know. I wonder if they'll maybe try both and see which sounds best, potentially. I thought my gut reaction to your question was, well, of course they'll keep it, but then the more I think about it, well, maybe they'll have tried the alternative. So I don't know. Again, I hope that the book goes into technicalities like that and tells us how they've built this thing. You'd think they'd want to show off how they've built this. Shows how clever they are. Will he send? I'm sure he'll send to the vocals, I would have thought. I would imagine. I kept the ADT on the White Album. Yeah, I mean, I've probably not listened to it in enough depth to have been thinking about things like that. But they did keep it, okay. How will a Revolver remix stand compared to the other ones? What's the most needed one? Well, I think that to answer the last bit of the question first, what's the most needed one? Going back to what I was talking about a few minutes ago, Rubber Soul, I think is the one that's most needed. How will it stand compared to the other ones? So it's been interesting so far that how it's gone. Sergeant Pepper was very bold, wasn't it? It was a very bold in your face remix. The White Album was pretty bold. And then the last two, Abbey Road and Let It Be, have been much more subtle. And I wonder if that's because I wonder if they had better source material to work with the ones that were recorded later, and therefore maybe they could just kind of enhance it without having to sort of really be bold. Sergeant Pepper, obviously, they went back to the original multi-tracks and they were able to really clean those up individually, and it led to a very different sound. And Revolver, again, we're not going to know till we hear it, but my gut reaction, my gut feeling is that it's going to be more like the Sergeant Pepper remix than like the Let It Be remix, for example, which was much more subtle. So I think it might be a bit more in your face, but that's just purely me guessing. I really don't know, but it's a good question. It is a good question. Sheffield and Beyond. Another good question. Which recent box set do you feel you have paid too little attention to compared to others? That is a good question. There's not been too many box sets this year, has there? It's been a pretty quiet year this year. So I would have to sort of think back to what came out maybe last year, and that would be All Things Must Pass, Plastic Ono Band, the last Dylan one. I think probably Springtime in New York, the last Dylan one, I haven't listened to as much as I would have liked yet. And I think part of the reason was I was so lucky, really lucky, very appreciative. Is that a word? Yeah. That I got sent several of those from somebody who will remain nameless. But I got sent them by somebody who was involved in it. And when you get that much in one go, it's difficult, isn't it, to take it all in, because you've got so many other things competing for attention. So I'm still kind of working my way through some of those and trying to give them the attention they deserve. So yeah, I think it's probably on the Dylan side of things. Good question though. Peter, you hope the Revolver mix is bold. Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, that's an argument that you can make, isn't it? I mean, you know, if you're not going to make it noticeably different, why bother, is an argument I hear mentioned, and I understand what people mean by that. The Let It Be one though, been more subtle. It's my favourite version of Let It Be. I was a bit blown away with Abbey Road as well the first few times I heard that, but again it's more subtle. So it can go either way, I think, that one. Real Amp Mimi, yes, this is a point where did I make this point? I mentioned this somewhere. Might have been online somewhere. A few days ago. This is the first deluxe where there's been an original different US version, yeah. But it looks like there is no concession being made here to the US version. It's not included as a bonus. It doesn't look like. It looks like this is the 2022 box set of the UK version of Revolver. So yeah, I'd wondered how they might handle that, and you're right. It's how will it be handled going further back when you get something like I'm Looking Through You, for example. That's got a really different. It's got that fake intro, hasn't it? Well, the false start where it all goes wrong and then it starts again on. It's either the mono or the stereo version. I can't remember which. Are they gonna ignore something as sort of obvious as that? It'll be interesting to see. Will they continue to ignore the US versions? I don't know, because I suppose for a lot of the world, isn't interested in those US versions. They're kind of mainly for those people who were around at the time and grew up with those, or maybe grew up with the albums pre-1987 before it kind of got standardized. So it's not as big a market. No, Yesterday and Today. Well, not in this set. It wouldn't appear. But again, is that something that they might do separately at some point if they wanted to? Thank you, Victor. It's the stereo mix that has the false start. I couldn't remember which. I'm not an expert in any way in the US Capitol albums. Julian Lennon's Jude album. Yeah, I want to have a listen to that when that comes out. So that's next Friday then. Okay, good. I'm really that's I don't know why that's reminded me, but I am really hoping that when I wake up in the morning, I've had an email sent from Amazon overnight. I'll be annoyed if I don't get it, because some of you might know, some of you might not know, that tomorrow there is a CD being released. It's called something like, now that's what I call 12-inch 70s or something like that. And it's the first official CD release for the 12-inch long version of Wings' Goodnight Tonight. That comes out tomorrow for the first time. If anybody would like a link to it, let me know, and I can go and find a link now and drop it in the chat for you. But anyway, the reason why I'm saying I want an email from Amazon is it's saying that it's arriving until Tuesday, which will be very annoying. So I want an email overnight that says it's arriving tomorrow. Otherwise, I will be annoyed. It still says arriving Tuesday. But sometimes that changes overnight. And then you wake up in the morning and it says, oh, it's arriving today. So flipping better do. Yeah, so that's coming out tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to that, because I've only got a really rubbishy, I don't have it on vinyl. I've only got a sort of a really rubbishy copy of it. I'll get you, if anybody's interested, I'll get you a link for that. It's got loads of other stuff on it as well. It's sort of quite, they've packed it early on with a few sort of classics. Oops. Type it into the right box would help. There you go. What did I see? Do I have the Oh No box? I don't. No. I've heard from people who've got it who say it's a good one. I think there's probably a lot of stuff on there that I haven't got, but it's not easy to get hold of, is it? And I haven't got it. No. Bella the dog. I never expect anything. If I do get sent things, I'm very, very grateful. That still sort of blows my mind a bit that people might want to send me these things sometimes. But I never expect it. I would never ask for it, and I would never expect it. One thing that I do believe I will be getting as an early thing is like a preview copy. I've been told I might be getting a preview copy of the McCartney Legacy book that's coming out in, is it November or December? Which looks like it's going to be amazing. It is going to be, this is, if you think of what Mark Lewison does for the Beatles recording sessions and the level that he documents them, this is going to be documenting Paul McCartney's career to that kind of level. And it's going to be the first volume of 3. And I did get told by the authors that I may be getting a preview copy of that, so I'll be able to show that and give a review of it hopefully before release time. But that's but certainly I didn't ask for that. I wouldn't expect it, but I've been it's been suggested that I may be getting that, so that would be great. What was that? I saw something about the Jam. Where's it gone? I saw something about the Jam and it's gone and I can't find it. And I wanted to see what that was. Oh, here we go. Oh, Rory, which Jam song is a total rip-off of Taxman? Start! Ding, 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 ding. Great song though, but yeah, complete and utter rip-off. David says, am I aware Harrison, McCartney and Lennon all had Irish heritage? Yeah, it's all there in the Lewison books. And what's astonishing as well, when you look through in here, I don't know whether I'd be able to find this easy or not, but it's quite a sort of a sobering thing. I might not be able to find this quickly, but when it goes into the history, it's going to be before then. It goes into the history of the families, sort of before the boys were born. And it's just incredible. The people who died early. I was looking at, it's Paul's father. This is crazy. I found it. Page 33. Paul McCartney, paternal background. And you just think the Beatles story is like one of those things that when you read a book like this, there's about 100 different points where you get nervous because you think it's not going to happen. There's no way it's going to happen. Then it sort of pulls it back from the brink. And you look at, so Paul's dad, Jim McCartney, when you look at his brothers and sisters, and you think, you know, for Jim to survive and then to have Paul and for it all to happen. Child one was... no, hang on. Child one, Joseph James McCartney, born in 1896, died of meningitis aged 17 months. Child three, Alice McCartney, died aged 17 months. Complication from teething. You've got, it's just ridiculous how many of their like brothers and sisters died. What life was like back then. And you know, if something had happened to Jim, we wouldn't be sat here now. We wouldn't be sat here doing this. The world would have been completely different. It's crazy. It's like things like that where you think, oh God, Jim, please make it to 1942. And he did. He did, thankfully. I don't know how we got onto that subject. Oh yeah, Irish heritage. Yeah. Graham. As I said earlier, if you like I am wanting Sometime in New York City box set, concentrate on Revolver. Don't get hung up on Sometime on New York City. It might lead to disappointment. That's all I'll say on that one. I didn't see I was going to go see the Elvis movie, Anthony. I was going to go with my missus, and then she realised it was like 2.5, 3 hours long, and she said, no, I'm not going to see that. So we never went in the end. Yeah. People are starting to talk about Caveman again. I still haven't seen Caveman. There's the question. There's the big question. How long until we get Tune In Volume 2? I mean, has Mark Lewison ever been interviewed in the last 8 years or so and not been asked that question? I can't see it being within the next year, but again, what do I know? He might suddenly announce it tomorrow. But it feels like it's still underway, and just who knows? I know from, I mean, just the tiniest fraction of a percent. When I think about this video that some of you might have seen that I did, that I put out a few days ago, about Ringo, about the John Lennon quote that he never said about Ringo not being in the best drummer in the Beatles. Just for that one little thing, just to get the story on that, I honestly put in about 24 hours. I totted up of research to be able to do that video, and that's just for a tiny little thing like that. And you just think that what he must have to go through with no help from anybody else, it's the task that he's got is just beyond comprehension, I think. So who knows? Who knows? We'll see. I was very pleased actually with that video that I got to debunk something that Mark Lewison had discovered, and actually proved that I got some information different to what he got about who it was who said that joke, first of all, because we knew that it was a Jeffrey Perkins joke from 1981, but he said it was Philip Pope who said it, and I managed to discover and get proof that it was Mike Fenton Stevens who said it. So I might actually send a message to Mark, and because I know he'd want his records to be up to date and correct, I might send him a message and let him know that that new bit of information's out. Sheffield and beyond. So what was this about the Beatles in India? So you saw what I put on Twitter yesterday, didn't you? If you're in the UK, next Tuesday, 6th of September, Monday night into Tuesday morning at something like 2:05 in the morning on Channel 4, the Beatles in India documentary from last year. It's got loads of footage of the Beatles in India that you've probably never seen before, unless you've seen this film. And and it's on TV next week. So I've set my box up to record that. And if I like it, I will buy the DVD or the Blu-ray, definitely. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing that. That should be really good. Thank you, Izzy. Fascinating to hear Jasper Carrott and Mike Fenton Stevens. Yeah. So, yeah, I was convinced that, well, I probably saw the Jasper Carrott clip back in 1987 because I did watch Carrott Confidential, I think, every week when it was on. It was something I regularly watched. I'd heard the Mike Fenton Stevens radio clip, but not heard it attributed to him. As I say, it had been attributed to Philip Pope. And I don't think there was anywhere that had both of those two things together, like as a place where you can come and see or hear both of those clips together. So I enjoyed putting that together. But as I said in the video, early last week, I sat through 24 or 25 episodes of Jasper Carrott to find that 10-second clip. And I was nearly going crazy at the end of it. And just how delighted I was when I found it. It was ridiculous. Lila, name 3 songs where the Beatles mention Yellow. That was on Joe Mayo's live stream earlier, and I think they actually found 4, didn't they, in the end? So I know what they are because I was on that live stream and I heard them. So let's see if other people can get them. But I did hear that on Joe's live stream a couple of hours ago. Yeah, Philip Pope, who did Tony Angelino, Kawaiian. So yeah, he was mentioned by Mark Lewison as being the person who said that joke. And it does sound like Philip Pope. I had no reason to question that. I thought, yeah, that just sounds like Philip Pope. But then Mike Fenton Stevens had replied to Mark Lewison's email saying that it was actually him. So I got in touch with him, asked him the question, got him to confirm it. He showed me the scripts. There's a comment that he's put on my video where somebody mentions about, no, it's Philip Pope, and Mike Fenton Stevens has replied on the video saying, well, you know, we've proved it's me. I remember doing it. I remember being there, and I remember being the one saying the line. What is there to debate anymore? So I was really pleased that I uncovered that, because I had no idea that it was him who said that line, and I don't think that information was really sort of out there. Hi John, what was the name of the book about Paul McCartney you mentioned earlier? I presume you mean McCartney Legacy, that's coming out. Do you want me to get you a link for that as well? Shall I see if I can find a link for that, because I think I can find you one. If you just give me a moment, I can probably find it, I hope. Can I find it? Oh yes, here it is. Here's the bad boy. I think it's come down in price a little bit since I ordered it. That's good. This is the thing with Amazon, and I know a lot of people don't like Amazon, they won't buy from them, and I get slagged off by people. Why are you buying from Amazon? Well, I'll buy from whoever I want to, frankly. Thank you very much. People don't tell me where to buy from. But what I like, when you pre-order something, as a lot of you will know, if something comes up for pre-order and it's like 30 quid and you pre-order it, if at some point between you ordering it and it being released, let's say it dips to 25 quid for a day and goes back up, you get it for 25 quid. You get whatever the lowest price is that it's been since you ordered it. So that's why I like doing that. Did I send that link through? I think I did. Yeah. Right. I saw something. I think some people were coming up with the yellow answers. So if you have, there was, yes. Well, let's have a look at Victor's answers here. Victor's got 3 of them. There is another one. So Yellow Submarine, of course. So this is Beatles songs that mention yellow. Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. I'm the Walrus, Yellow Matter Custard. And there is a 4th one. Has anybody got the 4th one yet? If not, I will have to tell you what it is. Um, who is Jasper Carrot's daughter? It's Dawn from The Office. Lucy Davis. Yeah, James has got it all together now. Oh, it's got his... Hang on, You Never Give Me Your Money. Has that got yellow in it? Yellow lorry. There's 5 then. There's 5. Yes. Oh, wow, okay. Any advance on 5? We've got 5 now. Well, blimey, there we go. Right. If you've got any last questions that you want to send through, send them through, because I will be wrapping up in the next few minutes. We've done a good hour and a half. Well, I have. Maybe some of you have been around. Joe, hi Joe, how are you doing? All together now? Yeah. Yeah. This has cropped up. It cropped up from somebody who was on your live stream earlier, and then they've asked the question here as well. Wow, Scott, thank you very much. That is so kind of you. Thank you very much. Thank you for the Who Said the Joke First video. Well researched and illuminating content. That's very kind of you. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. I enjoyed putting it together, apart from watching those 25 episodes of Jasper Carrot. Adam, any news on Wings Over Europe CD vinyl? No, nobody's asked that today. No news on it at all. Again, it goes back to something we were talking about maybe half an hour or so ago about, on the one hand, it's one of those things where you've got a lot of fans who want it, and for the fans it'd be great. I'm not convinced it's a good idea for MPL to do it, because if they've got ideas of putting out another similar box set in future to this one, then they obviously want demand to be high for that. That is a premium product that they want people to clamour over, and they want it all to sell out. And they may well put some kind of bonus in, like Wings Over Europe. It might be like a Wings Last Flight UK 1979 or something like that. They put something like that in there. If people think, oh, well, Wings Over Europe's had its standalone release, that will as well. I don't need to buy that box set. I'm thinking from MPL's point of view, they might not want to do that, because it might take away... There'd be massive demand for a box set like that if it came out, potentially, if people think there's something on there that they can only get on there, and it could take that demand away if people think, well, we know he's going to release it separately anyway. That's why I do wonder whether that will happen. It'll probably happen eventually, but I think after the archive collection has been a thing. Oh, that's a good bit of trivia, Anthony. Didn't Tune In release within a few days of New? I don't know. Well, New was 2013, wasn't it? Was it around September time? I don't know the exact date of Tune In, but maybe it was. Don't know. Lennon and McCartney shine most on Revolver. George doesn't do bad either. It's a good album for George as well. By far the best album that he'd had up to that point. But yeah, it's... When you look at the quality of Lennon and McCartney songs on there, fantastic. And I think it's probably the point where Paul had caught John up in terms of quality. He'd probably always been in his shadow a bit up until then, hadn't he? Whereas Revolver, I think even on Rubber Soul, Paul's not at John's level, but by Revolver, Eleanor Rigby, For No One, Good Day Sunshine, Got to Get You Into My Life, he's there. He's finally on a level playing field with him. Aha. Here's a topical question. Topical for me, anyway. It says, James, I don't know if you've heard it yet, but Ringo's Old Wave album is a highlight in some of his 80s material. I listened to Old Wave last night for the very first time. So I think I mentioned earlier, I did 2 Ringo albums last night, so that I can do them all for my Ringo video. And yeah, I did, what was the other one? I did Stop and Smell the Roses and Old Wave last night for the first time. What I will say is, I found one of them to be much better than the other. I don't know if you can guess which way round. What else have we got here? Izzy, last quick question. Do I still like Jasper Carrot after having to watch 25 episodes? Yeah, I do like. I was always a fan of Jasper back in the day. What really took me by surprise, I'd forgotten how political he was. There was just so much. I mean, if you're interested, I'm sure some people would be interested in 1980s political humour. He was just full of it, especially in the earlier shows, the Carrots Lib from 82 and 83 that I sat through. Very, very political, which I was surprised about. I'd forgotten that aspect of it. There's me thinking, oh, it's all about mad pet dogs and dodgy insurance claim forms, but no, it was there was a lot else in there. What else have we got here? Joe, you think Roses is greater than Old Wave? Shall I give out a spoiler? I'll give out one spoiler then ahead of my Ringo ranking video. I agreed. I put Ringo well ahead of Old Wave. Two very different albums, I thought, though. Old Wave was interesting. It was some of it was certainly a more modern sound for Ringo. He'd kind of abandoned some of the. It didn't sound as dated, and I'm trying to think in context there of thinking of it as a 1983 album. Like Stop and Smell the Roses, I thought, for example, in 1981, it doesn't sound anything like 1981, whereas Old Wave had more in common with 1983, if that makes sense. Yeah, Izzy, there was so much of it was political, really, really political. Folks, I'm going to wrap it up here. My throat's going. I want to say thank you very much to everybody who's joined. Those of you who've contributed, it's been a lot of fun. Let's just have a think about next week then. I think this is just my guess is that Revolver will be announced next week, maybe towards the second half of the week. That's just my pure speculation. If that's the case, I'll do a video that day where I'll talk about the announcement and make sure we know exactly what's covered. I will also, whatever day that is, 9 p.m. UK time, as long as nothing crops up in my life that I can't get out of, I will do a live stream where we can talk. Make sure we understand what's this thing. What does this mean? What do we know what we're getting? Do we understand what the configurations are? And we can just have a chat about it. I'll of course be following it through to unboxings, reviews. I'll do a live listening party as well after it's probably give it a few days so that people have had a chance to get their copies. Do a live listening party like this where I'll have it on my headphones. You play it at your end. So I'm not going to be broadcasting the album. I'll be listening on headphones. You play it in real time, same time as me at your end, and we can chat about it like this, about what we think about it. So I will be doing that after it's released. I'm also hoping, like I say, that this CD of Goodnight Tonight arrives tomorrow. I'll be really annoyed if it doesn't. I'll do a little bit of a video tomorrow on that as well if it happens. It is Friday tomorrow, isn't it? Yeah, I'm all mixed up because I'm doing this and I usually do this on a Wednesday, but it's Thursday and it's been bank holiday weekend last weekend. I'm all over the place with days. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, everybody. I'm going to sign off now, and I will see you all again very soon. Take care, everyone. This is me trying to find the button to end the stream and failing miserably, but I'm nearly there. See you later.